In South Florida, the Broward County Sheriff is vowing complete transparency in this investigation of a deputy who was caught on video violently arresting a 15-year-old boy. In the video clip we're about to play for you, the teen is pepper sprayed, then slammed onto the ground and punched in the face. And so we're going to play it, but just to warn you that you may find it disturbing and hard to watch.
What are you doing? He's bleeding!
The deputy is now on what they call restrictive duty and had his gun and badge taken away from him. Community members are calling the incident outrageous, and there are calls for the deputy to be fired. Nick Valencia is at the Broward County Sheriff's Department. And Nick, the sheriff was just appointed to address these kinds of accountability issues?
Yeah, Sheriff Gregory Tony says he is committed to accountability. He's also essentially telling the community, though, to take a collective breath and to trust the investigative process. The video, though, Brooke, it's very difficult to watch. It shows a Broward County Sheriff's deputy pepper spray a local high school student in the face. And as that student is beginning to walk away from the deputy with his hands to his face, he's tackled, slammed to the ground. It's then the second deputy jumps on that student's back and pushes his head into a pavement and then strikes him in the head. And now I mentioned Gregory Tony saying he's committed to accountability. Over the weekend, he met with community leaders and says that any time a white police officer uses force on a black youth, these things blow up. He's saying they need to trust the investigative process.
I'm not reading from a script to you. Just shortly, roughly 90 days ago, I was appointed to this position exclusively about accountability. And that accountability will be held not just for sake of when we are right, but in the cases where we may be wrong. And so over the next few days, this may take some time for us to look thoroughly into, but understand that we will be transparent, and if folks need to be held accountable, it shall be done.
In an arrest report, the deputies defended their actions, Brooke, saying that there was an estimated 200 students that had showed up to watch a fight. They said they felt threatened, they didn't want to lose their weapons, and they also said that the teen that was left bloodied took an aggressive stance, and that warranted their actions. Brooke.
It is so hard to watch. Nick, what's the reaction been not only where you are in South Florida, but beyond?
Well, this happened 4 days ago. It happened on Thursday, and it was earlier here, Brooke, that we saw demonstrators continue to show up here, ask for accountability, ask for those officers to be fired. It's not just the community here, as you mentioned. High-profile athletes like LeBron James have weighed in, Steve Kerr, the head coach of the Golden State Warriors. The local mayor here, Brooke, also notably, is asking for these officers to be fired, calling the video disgusting and unacceptable. Brooke.
Nick Valencia, thank you so much. In Florida for us.
Welcome back. We go beyond the gavel. A violent confrontation between two Florida deputies and a black teen was caught on video. One officer is now under investigation. I'm going to show you the boy who gets pepper sprayed, slammed to the ground, then repeatedly punched in the head. I do want to warn you, the video is tough to watch. So let's go beyond the gavel with HLN legal analyst Joey Jackson. What do you make of this, especially as we reported on in the last hour, police and what they say happened right before this?
Lynn, I think it's despicable. Quite frankly, what happened before it is of little moment to what we're looking at there. You can make justifications about what happened before, how many people were there, why the police were upset, why they were concerned, why they felt threatened. The issue is the tape itself. And what I'm looking at is, does the officer have a reasonable basis to otherwise go after this teen when they say they took an aggressive stand, right? The video shows them on top of the boy just as we see there. And so the reality is that was the force that the officers used proportionate to the threat posed? If you had to use pepper spray when the person's moving back, the teen is, why then did you have to then go after them, grab them, bring them to the ground and pummel them in the head? This is not the adequate policing we look forward to. Police should de-escalate situations. They should be the adults in the room. There's no place for this at all. The police should be disciplined, if not prosecuted. And it boggles my mind that the teen is charged with a crime, notwithstanding the officer's action in this case. This has to stop.
Yeah, and we know the mayor has called for that deputy to be fired. We'll see how this all progresses. We're going to continue to follow that story. Now to Louisiana.